Athletic Dads, welcome back. Have a really exciting training session today. We are introducing phase one, week one, day one of the Athletic Dad training program. Some of the parameters that we've set around this training program is we're only going 3 days a week, so we've got to make sure that we check all of our boxes throughout those 3 days during the week. We're going to go about 30 to 45 minutes a day, so it's going to be very efficient. We're going to get in and out. We have sprints one day, we have jumps every single day, and we have compound movements for strength training every single day, as well as mobility and flexibility work each day. So we're going to start with 4 sets of resisted accelerations. So you will have the option to resist the runs however you can best do it. So if you have a hill that you can run up, or if you have a sled that you can pull, or a sled or a box that you can push, you will choose which one you want to do there. We're going to go 4 sets of 10 to 20 yards, only working up to about 80%. All right, and then with that, we're going to pair on some spinal rotations. We're going to move the spine a ton during this program, and then we're also going to get some vertical jumps in, so a vertical jump variation. From there, we're going to move to the weight room. We're going to do some on-the-minute work with our main lower body strength exercise, which today, day one, is a deadlift. So we've got 10 sets of 3 on the minute. Again, we have time constraints, right? We can only train for 40 or so minutes a couple times a week. We're going to make sure that everything we have time constraints built into. So we've got on the minute, we're going to go about 60 to 65% for triples there, and then we're going to move on to our upper body compound movement, which is going to be a barbell incline press. We're going to go 3 sets of 8. We're going to work to a top set of 8, then we're going to drop 20% off there, and then do 1 AMRAP set. We're going to pair those with 3 sets of as many reps as you can do with pull-ups. Then from there, we're going to finish with our mobility and flexibility work, our isometric holds. We're going to go low plank hold, which is one of my favorites to do after a heavy upper body pressing day, and then a back extension, because this should be pretty gnarly on the hamstrings with the deadlifts and the sprints. We just want to take care of the posterior chain as we finish up. Again, hope you enjoy the session. The program is going to be released in the spring. I'm going to be showing a couple of these sessions moving forward, so you know exactly what you're getting into when you get into the Athletic Dad training program. So enjoy it. Here we go. Let's get after it. We tend to think of sprinting as super linear, so very straight, but there's a lot of rotational components to sprinting, and actually sprinting very fast. If you see the best guys in the world sprint, there's a lot of rotational aspects. So to get the body used to rotating, this is my favorite exercise to introduce to people who haven't rotated or intentionally moved their spine in a long time. We're just gonna hold this med ball nice and close, gonna give it a big hug, and then we're just gonna rotate side to side. I'm sitting on the box, so I can't really use my lower body to kind of compensate for some range of motion that I might not have. So I'm keeping this med ball nice and close, and then I'm just using the weight to help me get deeper and deeper into ranges of motion. I want to get real fluid through that spine as I go side to side. We're just going 20 seconds. There's going to be a ton of spine mobility and intentional spine moving throughout this program. It's also going to be really good to alleviate any low back discomfort, any low back pain. A lot of the compound movements that we do in a weight room, or a lot of times just in life, we think braced spine, so big chest, spine nice and flat, whether we're typing on a computer or driving. Everything we do there is kind of right here in front with no rotation, no flexion, no extension. And then we go in the weight room and do the same thing, right? Brace super tight, we push, we pull, we do everything with this really erect spine. So we want to get some fluidity and get some motion through the spine. That alone is going to help really, like we mentioned, alleviate some of that just low back discomfort. And just as we're using these 80% resisted sprints to introduce our body back into sprinting, we're going to do tuck jumps to introduce our body back into jumping. So here I'm thinking about spending a little extra time on the ground. As I jump up, I'm just trying to bring my knees up to the hip, and then I'm also trying to kind of brace for landing as I go, land on both feet, and then from there I'm just going to repeat that as I jump up and land, just nice and comfortable as we're working through these tuck jumps here to start. All right, we're on to our first strength exercise here. So we're going barbell deadlift. You have the option, whatever deadlift variation feels the best for you. I'm doing barbell because I enjoy that the most, but we've got 60 to 65% on the bar. We're gonna go on the minute. We're gonna go 10 sets of 3. So we're gonna accumulate 30 good reps. Again, I mentioned 60 to 65%. If you don't know your 1RM or really even have an idea of what that's at, and so you don't know how to load 60 to 65%, that is totally fine. Think about it as day one, we're just trying to get a good stimulus, a good dose of this exercise without killing yourself. So you should be able to hit triples every minute for 10 minutes and still feel like you've got some in the tank. I'm going off of 600, so I'm at 85 right now. Time constraint being one of our main principles in this training program, I'm making sure that the first exercise of each block is done under that time constraint. I love on-the-minute training. I've talked about that a decent amount. I've also seen a ton of strength progress from on-the-minute training. So we got 10 sets of 3 before we get into our upper body strength exercise. All right, so 10 sets down, got a lot of really good quality reps in. Now it's time to move on to our upper body press exercise. So our main upper body strength here, movement on day one, is an incline press. We're gonna do 3 sets, working up to a top set of 8. So basically trying to hit 8 and then maybe have 1 left in the tank or none left in the tank. We're trying to have a pretty good top set of 8, but we're only taking 3 sets after a warm up. To get there, we're pairing this with 3 AMRAP sets of either pull-ups or lat pull downs, right? If you can't do, let's say, more than 3 or 4 pull-ups, it's good to do a set of those pull-ups, do as many as you can do, and then load that lat pull down and hit some lat pull downs. So you're still getting that same position, you're still hitting that movement pattern. As many reps as you can do for 3 total sets. So this is our second set here, 185. And again, time constraint, right? Super fast. Here, pull up, here, pull up, here, pull up, out. Also, if where you're training you don't have an adjustable bench, this is a really good way to move the incline up. I just have 3 plates underneath. I've done it with 2, I've done it with 1. I really like this variation. So keep this in mind if you don't have, let's say you have a home gym where you don't have an adjustable bench, this is a great way to do it. Because the incline is our main upper body strength exercise, I still want to have a hypertrophy style focused exercise as well. So that's why after we hit this top set of 8, we're going to drop down and do an AMRAP. But that's also why we're doing the pull-ups at AMRAPs. Getting a lot of really good blood flow and walking out with a pump, as opposed to wasting a ton of time hitting 5 or 6 different machines, let's say, for your back. We just take 3 really good sets of pull-ups, and in my mind, it has a similar stress. Okay, of course, I don't hit record on that top set. So we hit 205, we drop 20%, so we're at 165 AMRAP set here. So as many as we can do, obviously no spotter, so we're gonna probably keep 1 in the tank. All right, 14, we're happy with that. And then how we progress that is next week we just try to hit 15. 4 total sets of incline press, great stimulus, great strength stimulus for the upper body. We're gonna show our last set of pull-ups, again, using the wrist straps for the pull-ups. Again, if it's lat pull downs for you, that's no problem. And then we're gonna finish with our isos. Last set, we got 2 sets of 15 in. Here's our last one. 13 on the last one. Of course, as we do more sets, those reps are gonna come down. Try to keep them as strict as possible because that's really the only way to test and make sure that you are making progress if you're sticking to the parameters, the same parameters each time. All right, we're gonna finish with the things that nobody wants to do. These ISOs are gonna be really important when it comes to making sure the body feels good post-session and also pre-session, like going into the next session. When we are getting back into jumping and sprinting like we are doing here with the Athletic Dad training program, we wanna make sure that the tissues and tendons are properly supported. We're gonna dose in a decent amount of mobility and flexibility and ISO holds in this program. And this is just to make sure the body feels good. So when you get back into the next session, you're not too torched from the previous session. So we've got 1 minute here in the low plank hold, and I got my timer up there on the wall. We're just really thinking about breathing deep into this position. If this is a bit too gnarly for you, you can always build up your hands so you don't get as deep into this plank hold position. Also, if this is easy, right, you can drop those hands a little lower so there's more of your body weight that you're letting gravity kind of take to the ground here. Really nice stretch through the shoulder, really nice stretch through the pec. I love this after a heavy horizontal pressing day. So we've got 1 minute in this back extension ISO, trying to keep the body parallel to the ground, pushing the hips through this pad, making sure I feel everything from the glutes all the way back down to the hamstrings. As we're doing this, enjoy a beautiful view behind me of Beechwood, Ohio. Again, when we're looking at what we're trying to accomplish with the Athletic Dad training program is we want to be capable of sprinting and jumping whenever we need to sprint and jump. We want to be strong enough to be able to move things off of our body or be able to pick our kids up and put them up overhead. All the things that we're doing are going to allow us to be more capable with our family and be more capable when we're around our children and be able to do more and experience more with them. And that is and should be the ultimate goal of your training, is coming in and doing something hard in the gym for a short amount of time and then allowing yourself the ability to then express those new qualities as you build them up, to be able to enjoy your kids' youth as they grow up and want to get into different things. You want to be the dad who can throw the baseball with your kids. You want to be the dad who can, throw the softball or play basketball or play dodgeball against your kids. Again, all days of the program are going to be similar. We're going to jump, we're going to sprint, we're going to do a vertical jump, we're going to do a horizontal jump. We're going to become really capable, robust human beings. And also keep in mind, you're only as good as your next training session. So we've programmed these early couple weeks. So if you're somebody who's just getting back into training, again, just getting back into running, we're going to slowly dose that stuff in. We're not going to be able to run a sub 12 second 100 meter the first day we go to sprint, because that's going to be a super gnarly stimulus on our body. So we're going to slowly dose that stuff in, and we're going to dose that over 12 weeks. And I promise you, committing yourself to something like this is going to make you more athletic, is going to make you more capable, and is going to make you ultimately a better husband, a better father, a better parent at home. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Continue to practice gratitude. Tell your family and your loved ones that you love them. And you got one life to live. You might as well live this life stimulated. We'll see you guys on the next one.